John's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about?
What have you been chatting about?
On Tuesday, England won the World Cup, didn't they?
England! England! Hey! Who are you? Henning, so you've lived... How long have you lived in the UK?
Since 2002. So I've seen them win many, many World Cups. I don't enjoy football as much as I used to, because our German side, we're rubbish these days. We have not won a major tournament for 17 years. Haven't been to a final of one for about 5 years. And been to a semi-final of one for practically 18 months, so...
Can I remind you you're a guest here? Are you a big football fan, Helen?
Yeah, I like football. I think it can be quite exciting. But I've been away, so I haven't actually caught up with the news. So they had this. They had a game that basically got them towards the World Cup. Yeah. So who was that against?
It was against. They beat Leeds. They beat Leeds.
No, they didn't. So it was England against...
played against Jossie's Giants.
No. Who did England play against? England played against...
Count Duculus 11. They played Poland.
The Poles, they looked ill, though, didn't they? I thought that. The Polish people in general, they look fairly ill. Whoever they replaced, so they always looked as if they hadn't slept for 3 weeks.
They've had a tough time of it historically, to be honest.
Maybe they've been watching the History Channel just before the game. Oh, Jesus. What those Germans did to us. They realised, actually, we should be playing with the English.
Sean, if it was a choice, OK, between England winning the World Cup and Chelsea, your team, winning the European Championship, what would you go for?
Well, one that's not plausible, is it?
I think Chelsea are a good side.
Just literally no chance of England winning the World Cup.
You say that, but on the other side...
Hey!
Yeah.
John, if it was a choice between England winning the World Cup and Leeds not being relegated again...
Somebody's Googled football this week, haven't they?
Funny is now they're starting to wheel out all the statistics, isn't it? Like, that England hasn't lost a football game in Brazil since 1972. Well, Germany hasn't lost a world war since 1945, but all amounts to very little.
These are all good stats. They're really getting me up for it. I think we're going to win.
I think obviously the big story is that Roy Hodgson, he gets us to the World Cup, and they don't even give him 12 hours. Like, his duvet's still warm, he's just got out of it, and there's, like, Roy's a racist on the front cover of The Sun. This ridiculous story about him, part of his half-time team talk was this joke, a motivational joke, about 2 monkeys in a spaceship and an astronaut. And the joke is that the NASA speaks to the first monkey and says, switch on the retro boosters, and the captain's then in the second monkey, do this, whatever, and that happens. And then they show the astronaut, he goes, I know. He said, feed the monkeys and don't touch anything. And he told that joke, and then he was saying to the players, feed the monkey, meaning he meant Andros Townsend, as in he's the main man. But it's been taken by the press as a racist statement.
It's just an old joke, isn't it? He's done nothing.
Well, the ironic thing about it is it's an old Irish joke. It used to be, it's a racist joke about the Irish. And Roy's gone, I know what, it's a bit racist. I'll just say astronaut. I won't say Irish astronaut. He thinks he's removed. He thinks he's removed. The racism point, not
He's
seeing.
wily.
So the players came out in sport. I just don't think they've understood yet. I think the penny will drop in the midweek that they think he was being racist, so that's why they're going, it's ridiculous, right? Oh, what? He's not... Oh, I thought he was being racist. That's disgusting. If he's telling jokes in the dressing room when he could have been being racist, I've had enough.
But the player himself has come out and said it's nothing, it's not newsworthy. And on Sky News, they were reporting the story with the strapline underneath saying, Andros Townsend says, this is not newsworthy. And we're here at the FA, what Roy Hodgson has to say, and he goes, Andros Townsend, not newsworthy, not newsworthy. I mean, the irony was delicious.
I don't know an enormous amount about football, despite the fact that I've been talking so much during this section of the show. But there's something about Hodgson. He doesn't necessarily have a great deal of sort of confidence about him. He doesn't necessarily look confident. If your boiler stopped working and you sort of rang the Yellow Pages and said, "Can someone mend the boiler?" and Roy Hodgson turned up at your door, you'd immediately think, well, he's not going to get it started, is he? Look at him.
Let's have a look at him. I mean, he looks fine now, doesn't he? That fills me with confidence.
That's a man saying, "I don't know what's wrong with your boiler."
That's a man saying, has anyone seen my chin?
What I liked about the way the press are just desperate to get some kind of innuendo or pun on the word Brazilian. So they're just these really these headlines that grammatically don't work, like "Let's get a Brazilian," because they know that the Brazilian means the waxing job, but it doesn't quite work. They should just go, "We're in the World Cup, shave your pubes." There, we've said it. That's what we really want to talk about, you shaving your pubes. We know we're not going to win, so shave it off.
All right, let's have a look and see if it's up there. Yes, this is the news that the England football team has won a short holiday in Brazil.
Wedding one.
I don't like weddings because there's absolutely no chance of me ever being involved in them.
There is, they could change that law.
I think we might go for the sexy lady in the specs.
OK, we asked tonight's jury audience, would you rather be beautiful or brainy? What do you think they said?
I went on a date recently and 2 different people came up to us and said that she was far too attractive to me. Wow. I'm sure you've had it as well, Alex.
Total strangers came up to you.
One was a drunk Australian man who'd fallen out with his friends and he thought, well, I'll go and slag off this guy who's with a hot girl then. And then the second one was a drugs dealer in Camden who stopped a mobile phone call to point across the street and go, "You shouldn't be with her, mate." And I didn't know whether that was the greatest compliment or the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
I go for ugly, stupid women. Really ugly, really stupid. So then people come up to me and they go, "You're too good for her, mate." "You shouldn't be with her." They go, "Oh, there she goes." She's combing her hair with a shoe.
You don't have to look any further than our guests to see beauty and brains. Obviously, we've got Rachel. We've got, on the other end of the spectrum, we've got you. Mille pois.
Is that a compliment?
Yes, it is a compliment. Alex, what first attracted you to Jordan? What 2 things?
Au contraire.
Go on, so what do you find attractive?
Something. It's the Factor X, the enigma, I don't know, it's...
They're called tits.
I like it. The whole package!
So, what do you think our audience is going for? Do you think they'd rather be beautiful, or do you think they'd rather be brainy? What are you going to go for?
If you're beautiful but thick, then you never have the intelligence to question why people are hanging around with you. I mean, brains are what make you go, "Oh, I wonder if this is just a fickle relationship." If you're beautiful but thick, you go, "Everyone likes me." I would say, as a result of that, they'd say beautiful.
Well, you're team captain. This is your first go, so I'm just bearing it.
It's not nice to hear that in a woman's voice. This is your first go, isn't it? You're having fun. It's lasted long, isn't it?
I think they'll go brainy.
You think beautiful?
Yep.
I think beautiful, so you're outvoted.
You think the audience would rather be beautiful? What do you think, Sean?
Brains.
All right, let's have a look and see what the audience would rather be, beautiful or brainy.
Yeah, we're right.
Yeah, the answer is 65% of our studio audience would rather be brainy. Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats Uncut, a show all about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 1.5 million Britons would like to be buried with their mobile phone? And if you answer it when you're sitting behind me in the cinema, you will be. 1 in 20 people have held a party for their cat's birthday. Even the cat's thinking, this is a bit tragic. And 22% of nightclub hookups are one-night stands. Yeah, who would have thought the guy you tugged off in a toilet cubicle 2 minutes after meeting him in Hollywood's nightclub Romford wouldn't turn out to be the love of your life? But if you are watching, Darren, call me. OK, fingers on buzzers, 2 more things still to get. What do you think?
People are scared of going to the dentist, aren't they? I know you're not, but some people are.
I was wondering about your teeth. Do you ever... Are these for best, those teeth? Do you have a set for just wearing at home?
Yeah, these are for special, these are for best.
There's your best teeth.
Do you know, I'm upset, Mr. Carr, because Cheryl Cole was voted best smile in this country. And I feel like you deserved that.
I don't know if she's got the best smile. I think Ryland has got the best smile. Yeah, take a look at Ryland.
Is that real?
Yeah, Armitage Shanks did his. That's incredible, that's...
Is that genuine? His teeth?
Those are his teeth, yeah. OK, so, Catherine, you recently tweeted that you were quoted £6,000 to straighten your teeth. Let's have a look at the tweet. I can't see what they would have done. They're fine.
Well, if I had £6,000, I'd sort out my willy finger syndrome, because...
Oh, yeah, you have got a touch of the willy fingers there, haven't you?
Each one of my fingers looks like a small penis.
Well, that's more.
I had to get a brace the year before last I got punched in the face in a Chinese takeaway. Yeah. There was a drunk man and he was being racist to the man behind the counter, and so that does not happen when the D-man's around.
Sure, the enforcer.
I told him to shut up, and so he swung, but he was so drunk, he went that way and fell over that way, and so I stepped back, and then he went that way, and he fell that way, and, like, this could have gone on for hours. But the man behind the counter, the victim, just looked up, had missed what had gone on before, and just saw 2 pricks fighting, and he jumped over the counter and punched me in the face. It knocked that tooth back 1/4 inch.
That's a good dental story, but not the best dental story. This is the best dental story. Last year, a dentist in Poland was treating her ex-boyfriend for toothache after he dumped her. She knocked him unconscious, knocked him out with the drugs, and then she removed all 32 of his teeth.
Whoa.
I imagine he said... Tinchy, are you scared of the dentist?
No, I'm not. That's one thing I'm not scared of.
Yay! We found it! OK, let's see if going to the dentist is in our top 3. Yes, going to the dentist. When I was a kid, I was scared of the dentist. He was a paedophile.
The thing is, his name wasn't Guy, it was Guido, which is an Italian name.
Yeah.
And the translation of Guido into English isn't Guy, it's Ian. So it should be Ian Fawkes night.
Oh, penny for the Ian.
Yeah.
5th of November, he climbs down your chimney. He leaves some sparklers under your pillow. And then when you grow up, you learn it was just your parents.
Those were not your parents. People had broken and entered.
Basically, what I think's interesting about it, though, is you're celebrating something that didn't happen, aren't you?
Yeah, you're celebrating a failed attempt to blow up Parliament, yeah.
Normally, you celebrate something that happened, don't you?
But that's by the by.
Is it? All right.
How's that by the by? What do you think's the key issue here?
Well, I mean, you know, fireworks is a nice night out, doesn't it?
Not if you watch the One Show. It's terrifying if you watch the One Show. Because you always do the safety film with someone who's basically let a Catherine wheel off in their face.
Health and safety first, Jimmy.
Yeah, there's always a lot of health and safety
But the thing is, I haven't always...
Were you applauding health and safety?
I assumed we were all applauding health and safety, and sad to be the only one.
I haven't always liked it.
You didn't always like fireworks night?
No.
Go on.
Well, because I lived on a sort of an estate cul-de-sac thing.
Yeah.
We used to take the Guy Fawkes round in the wheelbarrow, you know, penny for the guy.
Right.
And we didn't have a head. So my sister shaved my girl's world. Do you know what a girl's world is?
Say that to him.
My sister shaved my girl's world.
You know what a girl's world is,
Yeah.
right?
Have you ever shaved yours,
funny.
Sarah?
I know what it is.
So go on, you shaved your girl's world for Guy Fawkes, right?
A girl's world is a plastic head with hair, and you do the hairstyle.
Making it worse.
Oh, it's making it worse. Sean's making it worse. Anyway, she shaved my girls' world and put that as the head. So I didn't like it for a while. Now I like it again.
What about you, John? Do you like it? Because, I mean, it's fun, so I imagine not so much.
I like it, but I worry about everything. I worry if I had kids, how you let a kid have a sparkler. I think I'd just tell him, I'll hold it and you tell me where to move it.
When we were at school, we had someone come in to do, like, the demonstration video about the sparklers. I'll never forget him in front of my whole class. I was only about, like, 10, and him going, just by the way, you need to be really careful holding these. And then looked at me. I was like, what? I don't know what rumours you've heard. That's not what this is. Do you know what I mean? And statistically, if there's one person in the room less likely to get their fingers wet, it's me. I've reduced my percentage of burning, I think.
So do you like fireworks, Sarah?
I have a slight problem with it because I married my first husband on the 5th of November because we thought it would be a really good idea because we'd never forget our wedding anniversary, and then we got divorced.
So those were the only fireworks that night?
Well, not that night.
No, that night was all right.
That night was all right. You know, it was just after that. A firework display is probably quite a good place to take a new boyfriend so he can hear all the noises in you that he's supposed to make you do, all the ooh, oh, wow.
Careful, you'll have my eye out.
And then you can't go back to it until it's died down, obviously. You can't touch it for ages.
Would you rather get a massage from a friend or a stranger?
My sister used to do massage, and she said there's a muscle that on a bloke that gives him an erection.
Wasn't she suspicious on the day of the training that they taught her that?
Oh no, she found it out herself.
I'm pretty sure it's not just one muscle as well. It's pretty much the entire body when touched by anyone who looks nice.
Can you say in a Geordie accent, my sister's a masseuse?
Oh, my sister's a masseuse, like that.
That's all I needed. All I wanted. The idea of giving me any pleasure is revolting to you.
Yeah, I feel like I need to wash my hands. I don't think I'd even want to be massaged by a bloke. I went with my friend of mine, and she opted. There was like a male and a female massage therapist, and she said, I want the bloke. And she said she could feel his...
Gentleman area.
She said she could feel it on her elbow, and I'm just fascinated by that because my elbow has got like rhino skin on. I don't even know if I could do hot and cold, let alone tell if it was a cock or not.
All right, come on. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought we were going to add a bonus round to 8 out of 10 cats. And now, cock or not? John, do you like a massage?
I don't like a handshake, Jimmy. I'm uncomfortable with that much physical contact. The idea of stripping naked and having someone touch the backs of my legs and my arse and my neck.
They don't do your arse.
I know. That's why they don't get tipped. No, I don't enjoy being touched and massaged. I've never had. And it's the idea of a friend or a stranger. It's obviously a stranger. I don't know what social groups these people move in, but you're watching the football and, that was an amazing goal, that one. I'm just a bit tight there. You just tease it out. Oh, yes, you are a legend.
So, Alex, would you rather get a stranger to massage you or a friend?
Get off, a stranger.
Definitely a stranger?
Yeah, because they do your bum.
So many...
Did they do your bum?
Only in Greece.
Only in Greece?
Oh, OK.
Yeah.
I've not been there.
And
Greece, all right.
just like this. I mean, he wasn't shy, and it wasn't pleasant. Have I said
He
too
tells
much?
his story very differently.
Yeah, he tells the story very differently. I meet the lady from the wine shop. She's very nice. Worst way to break up with someone?
At the maternity ward.
I got dumped in a curry house once, but it was right at the end of it. And I was like, I'll pay, I'll get the bill. And she's like, we're on a break. And she's like, I don't think we should get back together. I would have ordered all the sides and that, because I went the full hog to try and get her back. I had, like, sagaloo, bargees.
You're trying to win her back with a sagaloo.
I heard about a guy, he was going to propose to his girlfriend, and they did a nice romantic walk down the beach, and before he could propose, she broke up with him 3 minutes before the plane that he had booked was scheduled to write, "Will you marry me?" in the sky. And I was talking to my friends about what you would do in that situation, and I think I would desperately try and run around the beach trying to write "abort" in the sand. And maybe push her in the sea.
Alex, have you broken up with anyone? Because one of the worst ways, I think, would be for a guy to tell you that he's gay. I imagine that's...
I think a fax machine might be a bad way to do it.
Didn't Phil Collins famously do that? He broke up with his wife by fax.
What, he went like this?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, that is Welsh, isn't it?
Sarah, what's the worst way to break up?
Is it smash their world's best boyfriend mug in front of them? Like maybe in their face?
So you essentially glass them with a mug.
Invite them to your wedding, you could do that.
You're still going out with them, but... Oh, that is cold. John, do you think she's going to do that to you?
I do now. Thank you.
So worst way to break up with someone?
Toss a coin, and just say, look, heads will leave you. Yeah. And then you go, oh, damn, it's tails.
20 years, I suppose.
Or, I think a limerick's a good way to do it.
A limerick?
A limerick's a good way to do it, because you put some thought into it, and, you know, and it can give them a sort of, a sense that at least it's got a jaunty little angle to it. But like, a thought is suddenly dawning of why I'm consistently yawning. For the past 20 years, you've bored me to tears, so I'll be off in the morning. The Olympic torch has landed on these shores, and we are watching it
go round
the country
interminably.
It started in Cornwall. That's because they flew Ryanair, and that's actually that's their London airport. London, Cornwall, we're landing in. And then it's going around the country with various people carrying it aloft.
Yeah, little Will.I.am.
Yeah.
Carried it. He's miniature, half a Corbett.
Is he?
Yeah, half a Corbett.
Half a Corbett. Is that how we measure celebrity now?
Yes, and it's very heavy for him, but he's been carrying it.
Can we just call him William? His name is William. Just because he can't punctuate doesn't mean I don't call myself Jay on.
Who's Will.I.am? Is he in the Olympics?
No.
He's brilliant, and he's on The Voice. He sits on the chair, his feet don't touch the floor.
Why is he holding the torch?
The reason he's doing it, the reason Will.I.am's carrying it, is because he's Corgi registered. As a gas fitter. Drogba's. I didn't know this, but he's a fully qualified gas engineer. He worked for EDF for a while. It's very special fire, though, isn't it? It's the Olympic. It's the Olympic fire, and it's apparently it's very cathartic for people who come out to see it, because anyone who sees the flame go past instantly forgets they didn't get tickets.
There have been some fantastic protests. Did you read about that guy in Taunton who threatened to set fire to his camper van? I'm not quite sure what he was protesting against.
I've got a camper van. Every time you make a cup of tea, technically you're threatening to set fire to it.
Nick, are you excited about this? Are you excited about the flame?
No.
What about the Olympics more generally? Are you...
It's nice. So, like, on buses and stuff, they're, like, saying, oh, let's pretend like the rest of the world is like our mum. And if you had a flat, you'd tidy up your flat and make it look nice for when your mum came over. And London's your flat. So let's all tidy it up, because people might come round and see what a shithole it is. And it's just like, we live here, and they shouldn't be making us do all of the work. Like, oh, if you pick up your own litter, you do it. You do it. Just because there's someone coming over from Germany, right, or another country, right, doesn't mean that we should be on our special best behaviour. You should be on your special best behaviour all the time. Don't patronise us.
Sorry, Nick.
My mum doesn't visit, it's fine.
I like the fact that Sean's got Nick on his team and John's got David. It looks like we're filling a quota of homeless men.
Oh, let's just check the Channel 4 lady ratings when this show goes out. Having me and Helm on the same show, it's like, don't cross the streams. Ah! This is the sexiest thing that's ever been on TV.
Oh, David O'Doherty does not own a mirror. He has also never spoken to a lady.
I'm incredible at ladies. I'd just like to make that clear.
You're incredible at ladies.
If you say so, yes, I am.
Most people found their wedding day more stressful than enjoyable. True or false? Claudia, what do you think? Is it more stressful than
getting
enjoyable?
married is obviously hideous. Of course it's stressful. I don't know. I had a glass of wine and had to have a nap at my own wedding. I can't drink wine, I fall fast asleep.
Really?
Yeah, I had to sleep in my dad's lap. Looked weird.
It's stressful just going to a wedding. Everyone I've been invited to, because I'm single, you get sat on the table with all the frigging single people. I will put the couples together and we'll have a table full of twats and we'll all watch them.
They're not single people, John, they're children.
Why do people think that a wedding has to be something that financially cripples them for the rest of their lives?
Because it's such a big thing, though. As a pressure of a man, if I looked at a woman and said, I really want to marry you, but let's really keep them costs down.
Can I just say for the record, John, that I do think at some stage you will say that to a girl. Are you married, Kate?
I am married, yes.
You are married.
I give you a quick Google
Would you?
before.
Oh, you did?
I did. I Googled you before. And I read that you enjoy being nude and keeping bees.
Yeah. Have you not heard of nude beekeeping?
It strikes me as a health
It's
and
an
safety
Olympic
nightmare,
sport.
to be honest.
What was the first bit of that? The keeping bees, I understand.
Yeah.
So what was the first bit?
Being nude.
Is that your...
Well, it's not something...
Because you're a naturalist, not a naturist. Or
Yes, no, that's true. But sometimes there's just times when life feels good and it's nice just to dance around with no clothes on.
But there'd be no point in wearing the hat if that was the only thing you were wearing.
Don't finish.
I want to see the circuitry. I want to see that bit at the back where you switch him on.
You actually turn me on around the front. Top animal people wish could speak.
Well, I think they would say their own pet. I think most people would prefer to have a conversation with their cat than they would with their husband.
Are there problems at home?
I would like an otter to speak. I don't want it to be an obvious animal. I don't want it to be like a goldfish, even though I'm a goldfish whisperer.
Sorry, you're a goldfish whisperer.
I have had a goldfish for literally 11 years.
OK, I'm going to say now, and I don't want you to be unhappy with me, but I'm going to say your husband has been replacing that fish on a regular basis.
Her tail has grown quite a lot. Sometimes she looks quite different.
Are you just finding out now that this goldfish...
Don't. And also, yeah, I don't want to believe it. It's like when the dog actually, I believe it is living on a farm.
Your dog went to live on a farm?
I don't want to talk
Wait
about
until
it.
you hear about your grandparents. Nick, if any animal could talk, what animal would you most like to...
There's a really skinny cat outside our house that comes over every day. And I just want to know what it wants.
if that dog that won that talent contest a few weeks ago, if that could talk, that would be just... Can I please go back to licking my balls for 6 hours a day?
I think the point about if animals could talk is it'd be incredibly boring, because animals are stupid. Just be basically going, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. There's a bit of food. I'm horny, I'm horny, I'm horny. I'm going to kill that, I'm going to kill that. I'm hungry again, I'm hungry again. But birds are just... I mean, the most interesting thing a bird might say is you're nesty.
Not the robin redbreast.
Yeah, you say
Actually,
right.
the robin is
redbreast
quite
is a
vicious.
total...
I've always thought I wanted dogs to talk, and then I suddenly realised it'd be really degrading for them. Because what are they going to say? They just have to keep coming in and going, I have shat all over the garden. I'll be honest, I went in the bin last night. Something's disagreed with me. It's carnage out there. I'm trying to move away from it. It's all up the wall. Oh, God, I can't clean. These are paws. I can't. I'm really sorry. You have got a job on your hands.
Harry Potter.
Ooh, are you excited about it?
Well, my youngest son is. I mean, I'm excited for him, but... yeah, I mean, it's nice, good, clean fun, right?
You say it's clean, but there's a raunchy kiss.
Apparently so, yeah. Apparently.
Emma Watson says this is the most anticipated kiss in history, which is bullshit.
But it's such a huge obsession for people. I mean, I took my youngest son, we went to Universal Studios, and you can kind of get your head around it when it's like an 11-year-old wanting to wear the, you know, Hogwarts cape and the tie and buying the wand and getting on the ride with all the gear. I mean, it's a bit weird, but, you know, you've got grown-up people. I mean, there's a certain type of person that goes to theme parks as a grown-up on their own, I think. There's these adults in all the gear, and they're screaming and shouting on the ride, because you sit on a bank of, like, 4, one extra than this, and they're, you know, these grown-ups are going, yeah, man, whoa, let's go, come on, Harry, and you're looking at these people thinking, why? I mean, it's just the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's a real come-down for the actors, though, isn't it? Because their lives are not going to be as glamorous, you know, because the special effects in Panto aren't that great. So we're going, Daniel, when you fly, Big Dave's going to pull on the rope. And you have to make the whooshing noise yourself. OK, so Big Dave... He's going to spend that 48 million, and in 20 years' time, he's with the Chuckle Brothers and Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe was asked what advice he would give to his younger self, and he said, don't try too hard to be something you're not, which is the essence of acting.
If I could go back and talk to my younger self, I'd say don't worry about anything. In the future, you invent a time machine.
It is bad news for British industry, because one of the things you have to credit J.K. Rowling with, she insisted the films be made in this country. So all those films, largely, British crew worked on them, British production houses.
Well, maybe she should write another. She should string it out a bit. That would be a good thing.
No, she didn't. You know she didn't write it, don't you? You know that, don't you?
Is it?
It's a biography. She met this guy called Harry Potter. He was working in a coffee shop, and she just basically she wrote down his life story.
Is it really a true?
Yeah, it's true story. Even the bit at the end.
The bit with the thing with the guy?
Yeah, you know how he dies from the eats the peanut. It turns out all along he had a peanut allergy.
Let's have a look and see what Harry Potter is one of the most talked about things this week. Best way to mend a broken heart?
Kill again.
What you do is you can take your passport, go to the airport, you get on the first flight, you arrive in Leeds, you phone up and you go, "Ha! I'm in Leeds! Yeah! Dream on, baby." You start again. If I can make it here, I can make it anywhere.
Best way to mend a broken heart?
Eat cholesterol-lowering foods.
No.
It's a practical survival guide.
Is it eat trifle with your hands?
Can I ask, in all seriousness, have you eaten trifle with your hands?
Yeah.
How is it better than with cutlery?
There wasn't any cutlery. It wasn't by choice, John.
How is there trifle and not cutlery? What world do you...
They'd got one, and I couldn't wait till I got in. I got the most of it in.
There must be a point when you've kind of had enough and you're just covered in trifle and you've got half a trifle left. You just think,
oh no.
In the old days, someone to get over a broken heart would join the Foreign Legion to forget.
Yes.
And I had split up with someone once. I wasn't that fussed, so I just became a community support officer. To forget, Brian.
I'll give you a clue. You were quite close with the going to Leeds thing.
Find yourself, like, gap year, travelling, backpacking.
I'll give you that. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. John's team, what do you think the nation will be talking about this week?
Alex Salmond has launched his manifesto for how Scotland will cope after independence. And I can speak with some authority on this because I own a Proclaimers album and have seen Trainspotting. So, do you need any facts on Scotland? Have you been to Scotland? Do you like it?
I've been to Edinburgh. It was fun. I didn't understand anything, but it was nice. And people were like, "Oh, you must have haggis. You must have haggis." It's crazy. It's not crazy. It's just unnecessary. I'm confused by the whole Scottish thing, though, because the world is. We don't understand. So Britain, because Britain is not a country, but then you guys have a national anthem that you sing as Britain, and then you get medals as Britain in the Olympics, but then you're not a country, which is cheating technically. This is just me asking on behalf of the world. We want to know how it works. Because we didn't know that Scotland wasn't a part of it because they use...
They are, but they're going to leave. Or they might.
To go where? They can't go anywhere. Where are they going to go? I don't understand this. This is confusing.
No, well, I'll tell you what's happened. So Alex Salmond, the First Minister of Scotland, has outlined the SNP's blueprint for Scottish independence ahead of next September's referendum. Some of the white paper key pledges, I'll just give you the key things. I'd say the Queen will remain head of state, Trident nuclear weapons will have to go, popular BBC programmes will stay, but they'll only air on a newly formed Scottish broadcasting service.
And no one's asked the Queen if she wants to be head of state. They've said, oh, when we go, the Queen will still be head of state. She might go, no, bollocks.
I think the new Scotland sounds brilliant. I read his white paper. They keep CBeebies, they get the Queen, they chuck off all the Trident. We should all go there. We should all go, yeah, you do whatever you want, you vote, and then just move in.
Sean, do you think we'd be better off without Scotland?
I think it's inevitable. If I was Scottish, I'd vote for independence. I would, immediately. Because you think
well,
what
you can't vote immediately. It's not for another 10 months. So that would be a waste of vote.
Sorry. I mean, what I'd do if I was Scottish, I'd turn it into a tax haven.
Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah.
Not everyone in Scotland is for independence. Take a look at some Glasgow Rangers fans and what they think about it.
Oh, it's Salmond is a twat, is a twat. Oh, it's Salmond is a twat, is a twat.
Why is he a twat?
Because he wants to break up a union, and he shags grannies. He's a granny shagger.
That's from the Scottish Newsnight, I believe.
I was in favour, but now I know he shags grannies. I'm changing my mind. I don't have any time for independence. When I grew up in the West Country, and there was the talk of Cornish independence.
Only among you and your friends.
No, I was from Devon, so I don't think...
It's the same.
That's the most offensive thing you've ever said.
Not even close.
Don't Devon want to be independent as well?
No, we can't.
What do you mean you can't?
Well, we're in between Cornwall and Britain.
That doesn't stop you. Look where France is, between Spain and Germany.
You struggled with that one, then, didn't you?
Really, the analogy I use is it's a bit like a relationship. And I'm beginning to feel like a bit of a spurned lover in this thing, you know when you're in a relationship and the other party says, oh, I don't know if this is right anymore. I feel like saying, well, if you don't want it, go. In fact, you know what? We should do it not on whether you keep the pound or nuclear weapons. Do it on music, right? We keep the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and the Who and the Jam and the Clash, and they can take their Best of Delamitri CD and stick it up their arse.
It is like a relationship. I think we should dump them first.
Yeah.
You know when you know you're going to be dumped and you think, if I get in there first, this is going to save a lot of face? Because I think otherwise it's going to be David Cameron turning up at Hadrian's Wall drunk at 3 a.m. going, fuck you, are you shagging Denmark? Is that what you're doing?
Instead of independence, they should have like a trial separation period.
See how it goes.
Well, couples do it, yeah.
And for a year, we don't go up there. And they don't come down here.
And do we view the Welsh as like our kids? We both got equal rights?
We get the Welsh every other weekend.
Yeah.
Strictly, I would be for the union, but if it means we don't have the guy on the co-op adverts who says, good with food, I am willing to change my vote, because there are 4 O's in that sentence, and he just willfully ignores every one of them. And then has the cheek to say he works for the co-op. Well, by your rules, mate, you work for the cup. Pick and choose.
Let's have a look and see if it's up there. Yes! Alex Salmond has unveiled the SNP's plans for Scottish independence. Following independence, the BBC would be replaced by the Scottish Broadcasting Service, leading to new Scottish programmes such as No Cash in the Attic, Doctor Who You Looking At, Dragon's Crack Den, Q Ockeye, and Skagpuss. What have the nation been talking about over the last week?
Faster trains.
Faster trains.
Between Manchester, Leeds and London.
Manchester, Leeds and London. You're going the long way round, aren't you?
Well, you know, they can't get the one that they're doing now on time, so are they going to make it 1 hour and 6 if they can't do it in 2 hours from Manchester to London?
I'm quite happy with 2 hours to Manchester. I think you need a little bit of time to prepare yourself for going up north.
I don't like this fast train, because I don't like being early. I'm going to... You know, because it takes an hour, you're going to be early, you're just going to be hanging about. Get a slow one, keep warm.
I don't think you will be early, because it's not going to be built for 20 years.
Yeah. 2033, isn't it?
Yes, it's going to be finished in 2033.
I thought we'd be teleporting by then. If I haven't got jetpacks, I don't want to be alive, let alone clinging on for life in a super fast buffet car, like.
They're saying it's for, like, European business people, though, that are coming over. But surely if you've had, like, a flight from Moscow, you're not going to land and then go, how much to Manchester? 2 hours. F*** me, I'll go back.
Where's he going back to?
Don't know.
Is it really going to go 260 miles an hour?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
It's a shame, because you're not going to be able to stick your head out the window anymore, are you? It's too dangerous. I used to love doing that. I did it all the way from Cardiff to Bangor once. God knows how many insects I ate, but I was...
Too fast, isn't it?
Too fast.
You'll have to change train impressions for kids. Like, you can't go... Won't do that, will it? It'll just go...
That won't be as good.
It wasn't that long ago that they binned Concorde, which was really quick getting to the States because it cost too much money. But now they've decided to spend 30 billion just to go to Manchester.
Are you saying we should get Concords to Manchester?
We could... I'm in. 30 billion, yeah.
Well, for that kind of money, I mean, there's other things we could spend that money on, aren't there? I mean, it's a huge amount.
Yeah,
we could have a free bar on the train for 20 years.
Instead of building a train line, why don't they have that thing in supermarkets where they send the money down a tube? That thing where the money pops up in a tube. That's so quick. Why don't they just build one of those? Just goes,
in
supermarkets? Those things, they come up in a tube, and it's like a plastic thing, and they open it, and they put all the money in, and then it goes doof, and then it appears somewhere else. they put the money in, they screw it, and then they pop in a tube, doof, it's gone. Literally seconds, and then you can hear somebody in the distance going, oh. Why not a massive one of those?
Shoot people out of cannons.
I don't think that's practical, Joe.
Not all right, not one then, 3.
3 cannons.
1 to Totten, then change, get another cannon. Leeds. It's like a 20-minute wait there.
And then get another cannon.
And then another cannon there.
I could see that if there's a problem, like a cannon replacement service.
Yeah. An idea.
OK, let's see if the new high-speed rail line is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, the most talked about thing. The government have unveiled plans for a new high-speed rail line. It said it will cost £32.7 billion, or £35 billion if you get a return. Did you know, for example, 80% of all pictures on the internet are of naked women? Who knew? Men knew. 7% of Britons have got in trouble telling lies at work. In my experience, they get particularly upset when they find out you're not actually a doctor and that isn't actually a thermometer. And apparently the human heart creates enough pressure to squirt blood 30 foot. Isn't the type of thing you should write in a Valentine's card. Right, let's get started. OK, fingers on buzzers, one more thing to get. How else has America changed the world?
So fast. The food. The fast food. Quick food, fast food, straight, no messing around. Just
fast.
Straight through, got your food off, gone.
Straight through, I think, describes it aptly.
Yeah.
You live in Los Angeles, don't you, Russell?
I do.
OK, so favourite fast food joint?
I really don't do that much fast food, but I'll go Mexican fast food, if anything. Del Taco, good gas.
So it's not only delicious when you eat it, but also afterwards you go, oh. Fragrant.
No smell, just gassy.
Just gassy.
Loud. It's loud. It's like a Mexican coming out of your ass, really, is what it is.
And when it comes out, does it mow your lawn?
Do you eat fast food? You don't look as if you eat fast food. Are you allowed to eat
yeah.
fast food? Does Simon tell you you can't eat it?
No. I'm trying to keep the timber down, you see. Try and keep in good shape.
The timber down?
Yeah, timber.
Don't say keep the timber down and do that, because people will think you're talking about something else. There's a wood connotation to timber. Yeah, baby, trying to keep the timber down. Well, surprisingly, that's not in our top 3. People criticise McDonald's, but if it wasn't for McDonald's, where else would we take a shit in the town centre?
I think what Hollywood has done to a cinema, in one way, has ruined it. It's because all the food people take in, people who never normally litter anywhere, in cinema, they just finish their popcorn, they just go boom, like that. With cans of boom. People just chuck shit everywhere, and the lights come up, and it looks like your Dale Farm.
So those were the top ways America changed the world. But other things that didn't quite make our list. America gave us social networking. By the age of 23, computer programmer Mark Zuckerberg had created Facebook. And amazingly, within just 3 short years, he'd lost his virginity. Starting wars. America entered the Second World War 2 years late. Stung by the criticism, it's made sure it got in nice and early with every war since by starting them. In a fight, I let my fist do the talking. Please don't hurt me.
Right, it's been Valentine's Day, hasn't it? I imagine people are talking about love and all that stuff.
Who did you send a Valentine to?
I didn't, no. I view Valentine's Day like the Polish food aisle of a supermarket. I don't really know what it's for, but I like to look at it.
I've been thinking, because they've been talking about different gifts you can give people on Valentine's Day, and the worst gift, apparently, is petrol station flowers. But then how do you know they're petrol station flowers? I mean, you can't actually... unless, of course, they've all been mangled through that night hatch. But also, it gets a bad press, the petrol station flowers, because if you buy flowers in a florist, there's no petrol or packets of Maltesers or anything. So actually, I would rather receive petrol station flowers from someone, because then I would know that I had a discerning lover who shopped at flexible shops.
it. I think it's just too much pressure and it's for uninventive people. Everyone gives red roses and chocolates. It's like, think of something yourself, like do something a little bit more creative. Like, to me,
I tried
just
that.
so...
I tried that, but it backfired.
Yeah, because it's rubbish.
What did you try, Sean?
I made a card for my wife/girlfriend lodger, and I made it myself, and she didn't like it.
That's sweet, though. No, that's...
Yeah, but I do. So what it is, I cut a picture of a heart out of a cigarette packet.
Creative.
On a card.
You know the thing about Valentine's? Valentine's is that time when you can tell people, you know, if you like them. I don't know if you read... Do you read Heat magazines? Anyone read Heat magazine?
Is that the magazine that reviews different boilers and legging jackets?
This much, in a way. I think it's different in the Republic of Ireland. Because they do a thing every year where they talk about people's weird crush. So the number one weird crush, as voted for by the British public, is Russell Howard, which doesn't seem that weird to me. Number two, if you can see that. You are a weird crush, which is such a terrible backhanded compliment, isn't it? Well, it's like saying you don't sweat much for a fat girl.
Weird crush is also John's signature lovemaking style as well.
They sent me a badge. I think it says something on it like, not quite weird enough. I mean, what a chat-up line that is. The lady's just looking for a man who says, I'm mental, but not very.
I can't help thinking, you know, if you look at this panel, there are two people who are single who might get on quite well. And we've got Jamelia.
You're single, right?
Stop me, I'm really embarrassed.
Playground now.
Two plenty John.
Yeah.
She does.
You're just not weird enough for me, Jamelia.
Just get on with it. Just, you know.
Get down to business.
I haven't got, yeah.
And it is a business with
girlfriend
me.
every bloody week.
You're going to feel pretty bad when one week I come in and I'm in a relationship and there's nothing to talk about. Me and Sue. Sue and I.
I can imagine you getting into a relationship where you're one of those couples that talk about, well, Sue and I think. Even on the show, if she wasn't here, you go, so what have people been talking about this week? And you go, well, Sue and I have been talking quite a lot about beef burgers
I
and
won't be doing this show if I have a relationship. I ain't leaving the house, I ain't doing gigs. Comedy's just one bit. I mean, you two are in relationships. You only do comedy because you're not really happy in them.
OK, let's have a look and see if Valentine's Day's up there. What have people been talking about over the last week? What do you think, Natalie?
The guy who did the nearly marathon full skydive thing.
The guy who did the nearly marathon
Well,
thing,
it was 24 miles,
thing.
wasn't it?
Well, it was,
so it's
yeah,
nearly a marathon, isn't it?
It was 23 miles up, though. That's not... I mean, traditionally how a marathon is run.
I know, but it's the same, near the mileage.
Like that. You just dropped me from 26 miles. I reckon I'll break the world record as well. Yeah, like that. Suck on that, Paula Radcliffe. I don't mean that. When I first see it, it's... Because there's so much Cockney on that side. Do you know what I nearly said then? When I seen he done it. And that's because
When I seen he done it.
When I seen he done a thing out of the scar, I was like, f***ing hell. When I
saw he done it.
When I saw what he done fell out of the sky and ting. Because initially, when you watch it, it's amazing. Once the footage of it, I thought, that's amazing. And then I thought, actually, you just ruined Alton Towers for yourself there, haven't you? All he's done for the rest of his life now. Do you want to go on Nemesis? No. Fell out of the sky, you dick.
When he fell out, I was really disappointed when he said, I'm coming home, or whatever it was. He said that I thought all Austrians spoke like Arnie. He's the only Austrian I've ever heard before. I was like, I'm coming home. Get ready, everybody, here I come!
Let's have a look at Felix in action.
What I don't understand is, why has he got handles on that thing? He's going to fall off it anyway. Why has he got, like, safety belt? Oh, careful, he's going to fall off. And to be honest, I wasn't impressed with the whole feat in any way. It's just falling. Any idiot can fall. I can fall any time you want. And he's got a special suit. If I had a special suit, I'd fall over pretty much all day long. I don't see what the impressive thing is.
Well, the impressive thing is he didn't die.
You know that suit was $200,000. You could try and get hold of the receipt for your next tax return.
I'd have to wear it on the show. Plenty more of that coming up. Beforehand on the news, they were saying if the suit fails, his blood is going to boil and his eyes will pop out of his head. And you're going, wow, this is going to be awesome. Yeah, it was fine.
Well, if you paid that much for a suit and it didn't work, my blood would boil as well. I was hoping that they got the calculations wrong, and then when he let go, they got the gravity calculation where he'd gone up and stuck to the moon.
You should have had a better suit on as well. It should have had, like, big flares and go faster stripes on it. It should have had just written on the back, F*** off.
Or a trampoline at the bottom. You could just bounce.
A trampoline, he could have broken the record twice if he'd had a trampoline.
Or when he jumps out of that thing, there's somebody in there and they push an anvil out after him. It's a race to the ground.
I went to a coffee shop, I have to say it wasn't Starbucks, but a while ago, and the two people behind the bar having a blazing row. And I was standing there for a few minutes, and eventually one of them turned to me and said, "What?" I said, "I'd like a cappuccino, please." And they gave it to me. I said, "Oh, do you mind putting a little bit more milk in there?" She went... Took it, turned around to the milk frothing machine. I could see in the shiny thing...
No, she didn't.
Dribbling into the drink. So she put it down. I said, "Did you just dribble into my drink?" She said, "No." I said, "I saw you in the shiny silver thing." And she said, "Well, what if I did?"
Where was this? Which shop was it?
It was actually at a motorway service station.
Oh, well, you're asking for it, aren't you? It wasn't a Wild Bean Cafe, was it?
No.
Because don't break my heart. That just Wild Bean Cafe, gourmet on the go. Wonderful. If I do get married, that's where we're having our reception.
They are one of the few places you can have a coffee and watch women getting their tits out.
Those are mothers breastfeeding, Nicky.
In my one, where I am, there's like a thing there and there's all bushes on it, and when the breastfeeding mothers come in, you can just peep through the bushes like that. It's almost like they're saying, "Oh, go on, enjoy your coffee."
Do you know that this is being recorded? Going out on television, it'll be seen forever, and you'll be known as Mickey Milk Boob. Here he comes, Mickey Milk.
And also, they do encourage crime because they put all the chocolate there, don't they? And then the woman turns round and looks the other way. It's almost like to say, "Oh, go on then."
I think, though, that it's different. You know, a huge corporation like this. I mean, what I would say is if you do go into a Starbucks, you know they do that thing, goes, would you like your name on the coffee? You know they do that thing now? Just say, "Yeah, I'd like my name. Could you put the name of taxpayer on the coffee, please?" And then go, "Coffee for taxpayer." Just do that. Just keep doing that.
Most people would rather host a house party than go to one. True or false?
I don't go to many house parties anymore. I go to a lot of fourth and fifth children's birthday parties these days. I don't have kids. I just prefer the food and games they play.
I like all the stuff about parties. I like doing a big shop and putting loads of nibbles out. And then this is true, I genuinely realise I haven't really invited anyone. Because I don't really like people in my house. It's that bit when you go to text people and you just think, "Oh, I don't like you. I don't mind you, but not in my house."
If I invite you, I'll have to invite him.
Yeah, and you'll bring your girlfriend and touch each other and talk about it. Come to my house and fiddle in my conservatory, not on my snacks. You want to be in love, you stay at home and cater for yourself. Bloody travelling chef for your sex games.
Don't put that on the invite, though.
I had a party a little while ago at home.
Did you?
It was my daughter's 2nd birthday. What it is, with toddlers, your parents can't leave 2-year-olds, so you have to invite the whole
So everyone you
fucking
invited
family.
had like a +2?
Had a +2.
So they can't get there.
No, they can't get there. No, but when there's 5 or 6, they can be dropped
There's a
off.
£5 for the cab.
They can
You've
be
got the
dropped
address.
off. Why do people nick remote controls at parties?
Hang on, I'll ask Mickey.
I bet he has.
Because you lose yours and you think it might work. Worth a go.
Do you think you might have lost it?
No, I've not lost it.
Do what I do when if ever I drop a piece of hash. Turn all the lights off and you get down on the carpet with a torch and you just go across the carpet.
Mickey, they're going to take your kids away.
9 times out of 10, you'll pick it up. And the cheer that goes up when you find it is phenomenal.
How many people are there?
Sorry?
How many people are there?
Me, my mum, my And this is all from 10, 12 years ago, you know, for insurance purposes. What is the latest you've ever left a party?
It was my birthday recently, and I was out until 4 a.m.
I left a party once at 10:30 in the morning. I went over the park and sat opposite a pub that I knew was going to open in about an hour. And then reached in my pocket and found a can of Stella. And ended up, still drunk, in this park, opening a can of Stella, waiting for the pub to open, like that. And a woman sat down and I went, all right. Your dog's quite nice, isn't he? And I realised I'd become a tramp in 24 hours.
The fine should be, instead of financial, because most people on Twitter are just bored people who don't earn a lot of money, you should be, if you do a bad tweet, you lose characters. So like speeding, but you can only do 135 now. And then if you're really bad, right, you can't use the letter E on Twitter.
Sally Bercow tweeted, "Why is Lord McAlpine trending? Innocent face."
The good news about it all is that Sally Bercow has been forced to close her Twitter account, which is the only good thing. I would have had her close it ages ago for doing that stupid thing where you put an asterisk and then something you're doing, and then that really pisses me off. Definitely starting the diet today. Asterisk, goes for some cake. Asterisk, oh,
Hang on, Grandad looks upset. Sean, what?
Well, I just don't know how you can be annoyed by her Twitter. What are you reading them for in the first place?
To get annoyed.
Yeah.
What else am I going to do with my day?
I was over the moon when I found out I could sue people on Twitter. Things I get called. Yesterday, someone called me the most gormless man on the planet. That's got to be worth a tenner. He can't have checked with everyone.
I've only ever done one tweet. Did one tweet, and I've got 36,000 followers, which if you worked it out on a follower per tweet ratio, I'm the most successful person ever on Twitter.
What did you tweet?
I tweeted, due to a series of imposters, I have been forced to set up a Twitter account. Now go f*** yourselves.
I'd love it if you got into Twitter. Really, because there's times I think about you in the week, and I just think... I just don't know what you do. There's times I think...
What do I do?
I'd love to know what Sean's doing.
Sit in a tree and spit at pigeons. So what do you think I do, John?
That's one of the things, I just have no idea. I can't imagine you eating food.
What do you mean?
Can't imagine you going for a run or watching TV. I just imagine you in a dark room, sort of softly lit, just your face, staring at yourself in a mirror. Growling.
I do stare at stuff, yeah.
28% of people think the government is hiding evidence of aliens.
You shouldn't even be saying that. For Christ's sake, Jimmy, that stuff should be kept under wraps.
Listen, the truth is out there.
Man, you can't put that out there and blow their minds.
Yeah.
They're not ready for it, Jimmy.
I can't believe you said it.
Well, for now, OK, remember, if I get assassinated... 28% of people think the government is hiding evidence of aliens. True or false? What do you think, John?
I've been saying it. I've been saying it for 10 damn years. Ain't I been saying it?
Finally, an accent that goes with that shirt.
I think if anyone is throwing insults about clothes, it shouldn't be you tonight.
Why are you wearing that? Because I thought we weren't allowed to talk about it. Because, you know, sometimes when someone's a bit weird, you can talk about it. And then when something's so weird, everyone goes, is he all right?
God, wear a waistcoat. What's the matter with that? It's nice.
It just looks ridiculous.
Back to aliens. Do you believe in aliens, Bunley?
I don't, and anyone who does is a knobhead.
You know something I found out? That, you know, when you buy ham in the supermarket, in a packet, there's cameras in there. When you look at ham, you go, oh, what's the sell-by date on that? There's somebody watching you in, like, a government office somewhere. They're all just shocked. They're all going, why isn't this on the news? Because they won't let it out there. So that's the kind of games they're playing with us.
Once you know that, the aliens thing doesn't seem so weird, then.
No.
Apparently we've got a sound problem. Hang on one sec. What's the sound problem?
Well, obviously, they're trying to shut us down, aren't they? No, you're not fucking taking me!
Whose mic is it? It's Sean's mic. You're just sorting it?
Yeah. If this isn't proof of what I've been saying... yeah, let's shut Sean up.
Most people think their life would make a good musical. True or false?
Oh, I think most people's lives probably would make a good musical.
No, they wouldn't. Most people's lives are boring as shit, aren't they?
They're not, though. They're not. Maybe the individual, but families are always really interesting. There's always skeletons and scandals, and every family's got that, right?
Yeah, true. Favourite musical? Sean?
I don't really like musicals, to be honest.
Do you like anything?
I do. I like loads of things. I love rice. I like books. I like music.
What music do you like?
Well, all the good stuff.
What genre?
All the good genres.
Do you like rock music?
I like rock music, yes.
OK, well, I would like to invite you to come and see Jesus Christ Superstar next year.
Oh, thank you.
Worst thing about doing DIY?
The only tool I've got is a hammer. I do all the jobs with it.
All the jobs?
Yeah, if I'm sanding a window, with a hammer. So, you know, painting the skirting board, hammer.
Changing a fuse in the plug.
Hammer, yeah. My house is in ribbons.
Power tools really mean you can screw up big, fast. Like, with a little screwdriver, you're not really going to do much damage. You go, oh, but with, like, a power drill, you go... Wow, 30 seconds and I have ruined that whole wall.
Nail guns are fun. Ooh. Sorry.
Have you done any DIY? Would you ever do any?
No, get a man in, that's my answer to that.
See, I find a bit of DIY quite therapeutic. I enjoy it.
What was the last bit of DIY
Home
you did?
improvement. I enjoy the aesthetics, you know, but
Do you mean
I enjoy...
buying cushions? Yeah. That's not DIY. That is buying cushions.
It's improving the home.
Yeah, I bought some cushions. Oh, exhausted.
I like it, personally. I don't see the problem.
What was the last thing you built? What was the last thing you...
It was a white unit from IKEA. And,
That's not do it yourself.
Yeah, but you drink your way, drink through it. That's the thing that I don't understand. Why isn't everybody drunk making things?
The worst thing about IKEA is you're not allowed to punch people in the back of the head. Why do they walk so slow? Get through!
I don't call it IKEA. I call it IKEA! And they say, can you keep it down? I say, look how big you've written it. You write it that big. That's how big I say it. IKEA!
OK, so a bad workman would blame this.
Tools.
What about them?
Lack of the right tools.
There you go, that's the right answer. She's getting the point. Yes, the worst thing about doing DIY is not having the right tools. If you're doing DIY, there's one tool you definitely don't need. Nick Knowles. I remember as a young lad my dad showing me how to use a hammer, but even then it seemed like a messy way to kill a guinea pig. Sean, Mickey, Jedward, what do you think the nation have been talking about?
Okay, everyone's talking about loads of cool things.
Everyone's always talking.
And all those girls always gossiping about like stuff. So what do you think, John?
Okay.
What are people talking about?
Sean.
The Beckhams had a baby, another baby.
The Beckhams, yeah, had a little...
Come on, Victoria Beckham had a baby.
Like, think about, okay, she has a baby, okay, and she looks so, like, she's so thin. And then
I know, she looked a little bit like a snake that had swallowed something.
No, I think she looks really, really well. I think Victoria Beckham, if you're watching this, which you obviously are, good job.
On the airplane, on the...
Do you know how babies are made?
I don't know, I think it's about, like, there's like an eagle that comes...
You missed that class in school.
You missed a lot of classes.
Yeah.
Although your school was different, it was mainly potato painting. Let's get back to the Victoria Beckham.
It's a cesarean, wasn't it?
Yeah,
she had a cesarean, which is typical Spice Girl. They're always miming, aren't they?
She's had 4 cesareans.
Yeah, she
might as well just put a hinge.
There are very few things more boring than going to see someone's baby, though, isn't it? No, they say, oh, you've got to come round and see the baby. You think, oh, for f***. And you go, yeah, it is one. You're all right. Yeah. Well done, you had a bunk up.
But it's the name. The names are very strange.
What do they
Don't
call
you
it?
think? It's just a really weird thing. to call
7.
Yeah.
Harper 7. Sounds like a robot butler. The news was suddenly full of sort of little stories saying, what does it mean? Like it's a competition and we're going to win a sort of golden rabbit that's been buried in a forest if we work it out. But if it's a contest that the Beckhams are setting, I don't think the clues are going to be very difficult. Wasn't the name 7 chosen? I thought it was chosen from the number 7 being on his shirt. So, I mean, if he was naming it after something on its shirt, it's lucky it wasn't called Beckham.
How did you come up with your name?
Edward.
You didn't come up with your name, did you?
We didn't,
The
okay,
sun
everyone's
came up with your
calling
name,
us
didn't they?
it.
The sun came
No,
up with it.
our fans came up with our name.
News of the world came up with it.
You're not in Home Alone, stop doing that.
No, okay, it's John and Edward, and they both come together. You didn't know.
Okay, as you guys know, okay, we met Barack Obama, okay, and he was like... Yeah.
You're joking.
Yeah, shook Barack Obama's hand.
Yeah, like,
if anyone wants to touch it, you can.
Just out of his, why did you meet him?
We met the biggest world leader in the world, okay, and he was like, so what is Jedward? And we told him that it's John and Ed and you put together and it makes Jedward.
But why, was he lost or something? How did this happen?
Yeah.
Barack Obama opened the wrong door and get lost. What's going on there? And he switched the light on, then you two are there. How did it happen?
You told him the Jedward story and he didn't go back to America and say, from now on I am Obama.
All the biggest people in Ireland were there. Daniel Day-Lewis was there, Gabriel Byrne was there, we were there. He skipped everyone, walked straight to us, and Michelle Obama was there also.
Bono wasn't there.
Yeah, he was too
He
cool.
was on tour.
Bono was probably in your dressing room going... Can I ask a question?
Of course you can.
That's not going to change anything. You'll be surprised to find that my memory is not wiped out by that. Yours maybe. But do they not hit kids in Ireland?
Let's have a look and see whether the Beckham baby is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, Victoria Beckham has had her baby. Doctors offered Victoria gas and air, but she said she wasn't that hungry. Here is your question. Most people would rather wear something practical than look cool. True or false? What do you think?
But I think it is age dependent. People, you know, maybe, got to be careful here, 40?
I'm 40, yeah.
Downwards, go for, you know, look cool.
Have you seen the 2 guys you're sitting with? Do you suffer for fashion? Do you wear heels? Do you wear uncomfortable things to look good?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a heel, if there's heels available.
If there's heels available, you have a heel.
But I also like a flat Converse.
I really want to say I've got a rocket in my pocket in your accent.
Do it.
I got a rocket in my pocket.
Danny, would you rather be practical or look cool?
Try a bit of both. I can't be fucked wearing a suit and all that, do you know what I mean? Can't do a tie.
Can't do a tie?
No, I can't do a tie. That's embarrassing, isn't it?
Oi!
Go on, mate, do him.
Yeah.
Well, this is the fight we've been waiting for.
You fucking giving it the big one? What's going on over here? What's happening here?
Yeah, mate, you're giving it the big one. He's a dickhead.
Sean, what do you think? Practical? Do you go practical now?
Now?
Well, I mean, for the show, you tend to, you dress down a little bit, but heels and...
It's a liberty, that is, dressed down. I think you look well. It's a strong top he's got on there.
Yes, yeah. He's got a strong top.
I mean, you can do the old collars up a bit, I think. You know what I mean? Have a pair of bollocks about you, fucking...
I look better.
You look like you're ready for a tear-up now, you know what I mean? Like...
Oh, crikey, crikey. My tailor always says it's very important to have a pair of bollocks about you.
Most people admit to lying at least once a day. Is that true or false?
It's true. I lie every day. I wake up and say good morning. Every single day.
I lie all the time. I like lying. I love it.
You lying now?
Yeah. By 9 p.m, I've lied 900 times. Women lie especially. I don't mind about getting my... I'm on the pill.
Did you lie about that?
3 times.
Jimmy, I'll see if you lie, because I've got a question I want to ask you.
Sure,
I've
go
noticed
ahead.
something.
Go ahead.
Have you had your teeth jazzed up?
Yeah, I've had my teeth jazzed up. That was the exact term I used.
Yeah.
I want
really white. It looked like you swallowed a torch.
Yeah, well, they were looking kind of shitty, and I was getting,
like this?
Yeah.
Did you
send them? No, they weren't that bad. They were bad. They still look like teeth.
I got the teeth of like a dead horse found in the Thames after about a month.
I like your teeth, but then I like Watsits.
Yeah.
Which made me think, oh...
Yours are so bright. They're a bit... I mean, when you switch the lights out at night, do moths bump into them?
Sean Steen, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Badgers! Badgers!
It's a very upbeat response.
Ah, they can't kill all the badgers.
Well, they don't know how many there are.
Badgers have moved the goalposts.
This is actually a quote from a government minister. When Environment Secretary Owen Paterson was asked if he'd moved the goalposts, because they're now saying they need to kill more badgers, he said, the badgers have moved the goalposts.
They do, and that's why they must die. That's the kind of thing they do.
Richard, what's your problem with
We've got a
badgers?
massive problem with badgers. We have a lot of badgers anyway, and now we've got all these refugee badgers coming in, running away from all
Starting
these...
to sound like Clarkson, mate.
No! He was rude about badgers. No, he was rude about badgers. I like badgers, but I only like the ones that we already had, and then all the protesters were blowing whistles and banging saucepans to scare them away. So now they've all come and lived at our place, and that's kind of chucked our home badgers out. And...
How can you tell the difference between the new badgers and the old badgers?
Well, they've got different accents.
Because...
I think the cull's a good thing, because they say that there's the equivalent of 1 dead badger for every 10 yards between Tiverton and Exeter.
They always say that, don't they? Yeah, people are always saying that.
No, but it's actually quite a useful way of finding your way home. Instead of just sprinkling rose petals as you walk along, just follow
the usual method, yes.
A trail of dead woodland animals.
We gave it to them. That's what I feel sorry for. We caught TB in the Industrial Revolution, gave it to the cows gave it to the badgers. We killed all the cows that had it. We got rid of it. The badgers were just left with TB. Like, here you go, mate. They went, oh, we've got bloody TB now. And now they're trying to give it back, and we're shooting them all. It's like giving someone a cold and then shooting them, going, don't give me that cold, mate.
I'm a supporter of the badgers, and I've actually rescued 2 badgers, because they came round to shoot them, and I had a cottage down there, and I took them in, and I pretended they were slippers. And I would have got away with it, but one of them started coughing.
Carol, what do you make of the badger cull?
Well, I think it's interesting because obviously TB is supposedly spread by the badgers, and with this cull now, they're all running for the hills and obviously spreading it even more.
There is no TB. The whole thing is just the Countryside Alliance. It gives them an excuse to shoot something that's slightly black. Why? There's no TB.
Do you think the reason people are so upset about badgers is because they're like our pandas? You know, people are feel very, very fondly towards pandas. Do you think people see them badger as it's like a shit panda?
They are a bit like pandas, because I love watching 2 of them shag.
What, a panda and a badger?
Oh, no. 2 badgers having sex, not anything weird.
You like watching a couple of badgers?
Because there's 2 pandas up in Scotland they're trying to get to have it off.
Yeah.
So if people like watching pandas having sex, people might also like to watch badgers do it.
The badger might help, because the badger could be like a fluffer for the panda. There you go. And then the panda comes in and takes over.
Sure.
Panda just goes, out of the way, sunshine. I'll finish this job.
Let's have a look and see if the badger cull is up there. John, Patsy and Jack, what have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it Wimbledon?
Did you go this week?
I went to Eastbourne.
You went to Eastbourne?
It was really good. Really?
So you went to Eastbourne, not Wimbledon?
Do you have a problem with your sat-nav?
It was a really brilliant match.
Who did
I
you
saw
see?
Venus Williams.
How did you cope with the screaming?
Where, in Eastbourne?
At the tennis, when they hit it and they...
Screaming? Grunting?
They're trying to ban it, aren't they? They're trying to ban the noises.
Yeah, they are. They said this week it was OK, it was better for concentration and stability to grunt.
I have to watch it with the sound down. I can't be doing with it. If you turn the sound down and do your own noises, like boink, boink. I imagine that the ball boys are little gremlins, and then when they come out to get a ball, I go...
Am I hear the gremlin noise then?
Sometimes I go, my ball, my ball, my ball. They've taken all the fun out of it, though. One of the first things they did this week, when it rained, because they can still play, but they closed Henman Hill, because they didn't want people sliding down. And again, more fun than tennis. Like, you should just have a camera, posh old lady with a tray full of Pims, just trying to get across the... Far better than tennis.
Joe, do you watch the tennis?
Yeah, well, no.
I used to watch it, but at the end, it's the same thing. It's just different people winning. It's the same every time. Oh, you won that one.
Does anyone think Andy Murray's going to win?
Of course he's not going to win. We always go through this every year. He's never going to win.
Read the news like that. Oh, this is bollocks. Not reading that. Move on.
It'd be good. It'd be a breath of fresh air if the news was read like this.
I'd love that.
Afghanistan, yada, yada, yada.
The thing that did annoy me was that Andy Murray takes his top off a lot. And, like, he's obviously proud of his body, isn't he? Which annoys me. If he had my body, he wouldn't do it.
If he had your body, I don't know whether he'd be playing there.
Well, because I get changed like I'm an old woman on the beach. With, like, a towel up, kind of like that. So I find that sort of quite offensive when people sort of go, oh, is the camera still on?
Yeah. I don't think he physically looks that impressive, Andy Murray. Though it strikes me as like Nadal is like.
Why does he take his top off?
Yes.
He doesn't do it during the game.
What, has he actually got
afterwards? He's not in the middle of a point. Just woo. Like that. He waits and then takes it off.
If it goes for extra time, he's just in his pants.
I always think he looks a mess, because, like, Nadal is incredible. Like, he's just a physical Adonis. And Andy Murray looks like a heroin addict that's shoplifted a JD Sports. He's pathetic. And, like, when you see him next to Nadal is just the perfect man, because he's really strong. He's got these big pistons of arms, but then a really nice little boyish face, sort of very hamsterish features. Like, imagine if you were with Nadal, he'd be like 2 hours of, like, rampant, ferocious sex, and then afterwards, just make you Eggs Benedict.
Does anyone... Do you fancy a game of Who's Got a Crush on Nadal? Anyone fancy a game? Oh, look, I've won. Let's have a look and see whether Wimbledon is one of the most talked about things this week.